Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your weekly reading for October 6th to the 12th. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. This is, by the way, the blue asterisk, always the best aspects of the week. And as always, not every aspect is on the whiteboard. We'll go over it. I said this is a loaded month, and I hope you like intensity. There's going to be some heat in the kitchen. Not only are you coming out of a bonkers eclipse season, right? That rare grand trine, the prism portal. That's still happening. Remember, that's years long. And at this point, it is officially a wrecking ball to your old systems, your old structures, the old you. It's creating this brand new era for you, this brand new you. You're experiencing it now. You're really feeling it. I pointed out since March, now you see everything is changing. And with these forecasts, I dropped them, days before the actual week begins. You might be approaching Mercury opposite Chiron and Eris. Yeah, you might start feeling that. I didn't talk about that in your monthly forecast last week. Yeah, we'll bring it up. And Venus conjuncting the South Node. That's going to happen October 4th. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel that. And again, that you just look at your last week's look at your last week's reading if you want more information about that. But that really sets the tone for you for this week because that is your 8th house. Okay? And that's Scorpio's home. Look at what's happening. Okay? So you already have Mars in Scorpio. First time Mars has been in Scorpio in 2 years. So Mars is at home in Scorpio. It's his domicile. So it's penetrating. It's adding fuel to your passions. That's the big theme. Passions, action, drive, libido, your transformation. And when I say he's adding fuel, we're talking about the expensive gas, the premium. All right? At the Citgo, whatever it is. But look at the first few days. Again, another cluster of aspects that are really, really strong. Monday, October 6th, you got Mercury moving into Scorpio now. So you got them together. So you got your determination, your focus, all that martial energy, right? Mars and Scorpio. Willpower with Mercury, your mind, ideas, communication. When it comes to investments and partnerships and intimacy, those are big themes that are going to come up. Wealth, health, the health of relationships, all of that. But especially for you, it will be career because Scorpio rules your 10th house, which is very public facing. It's career, it's achievements, it's fame, it's honors. And if you're not here for career, it's just whatever you're putting your energy into that you want to be known for. Remember that passion. Mars and Mercury together in Scorpio is passion. That's why just even Venus conjuncting the north or south node, you're letting things go. It's your 8th house. Scorpio is the ruler of 8th house, like I said. This is a month of transformation. This is a week of transformation. 8th house is death and rebirth. You cannot have that rebirth part until you have that death part. That's what's going to happen over the weekend with the South Node and Venus. But anyway, we're talking about letting things go for you to pursue continue your transformation. All right? Passion. That's a key word. Think it's a 5-year-old Asian girl playing Mozart on the piano. It's a 80-year-old climbing Mount Everest. Think of passion. Nicolas Cage playing any character in any of his movies. That's what you're going to be feeling. And you're going to be going deep. Remember, I said it's penetrating, but remember, I also said don't go too deep, right? Because there's a lot happening on Monday. And as I said last week, Mercury and Mars together can be extra penetrating, can be very probing. Like, I got to know, is that truth serum? It's rabbit holes. I got to know. I need to know the truth. I won't let this go. That type of energy. Remember, Venus is still in Virgo all week. Very analytical, nitpicky. And remember, your 8th house, Scorpio's home. So you've got a double dose of it. Venus is all about the finer things in life. Virgo is all about the fine details. And her lover, Mars, playing, Mulder, Hardy Boys, Ace Ventura over here. Yeah. With Mercury and Mars in his side, like all of that. It can be mind games. It can be very psychological. It can be very internet sleuth. Like, up until 4 a.m, just like, I gotta know who took, who made this shirt from my favorite company, whatever it is. It can get intense, is all I'm saying. So use this at its highest expression would be passion, but also dissecting. Sure, dissecting what's not working, what is working when it comes to what you're investing your time and energy into when it comes to intimacy and partnerships and wealth, and especially career. All right? And fame. All in the name of your transformation. Scorpio, again, rules death and rebirth. You're going to go through changes this week, okay? In regard to your passion, Scorpio is deep, it's intense, and passion is a cousin of intensity. The etymological root of passion is what are you willing to endure for what you desire. So I talked about emotions last week. This is going to be a very emotional week. A lot of things not on the whiteboard we'll talk about, but emotere, energy and motion. It's all about your energy. And this is a week you're going to feel and feel intensely. Intendere, right? Intendere. It's used to express strong feeling with a great degree of energy. So focus on your passions, your personal gains, being strategic. That's being proactive. That's Mercury, Mars, and Scorpio. Again, a lot of focus on your career and how you want to be perceived. Your reputation is very public facing, the 10th house. This is you ascending on your karmic journey. What does that require? Well, hey, you got Mars and Mercury in Scorpio. It requires shadow work. You're going to be doing some shadow work, okay? What's toxic? What's holding you back? What are the truths that you need to see? This is all about being honest with yourself and facing those things that sometimes you don't want to face. You see Mercury square Pluto in your sign this week? Things are going to come up. There's going to be truths coming to the surface. Mars and Mercury together all month. This is just when it gets started. All right? Just remember, the truth always sets you free. Now, around midnight that same day, Eastern Standard Time, we have a full moon in Aries, 14 degrees. It's a Mars-ruled full moon. Yeah, it's got a bite to it, okay? It's a super moon. It's big. It's orbiting close to Earth. You're going to feel the energy of it. And as a reminder, the moon is just a rock. It reflects the light of the sun. So something will be illuminated for you at this time. Think about what happened for you around the new moon, partial solar eclipse in Aries, March 29th. And, you know, the weeks following it, even the 6-month story that eclipse was happening in your life, right? It's your third house. Communication, all types of communication and marketing, advertising, PR, writing projects. Yeah. Launching businesses or, you know, selling goods, travel, online things. That's the third house, the internet, right? Social media, as well as siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, and did I say travel? Travel. Anyway, that was part of that once a lifetime planetary alignment. Here's the culmination. Here's the turning point. So a lot of emphasis on home and family as well for you. Just letting you know, okay? Especially family, right? And Aries is the go-getter, right? It's the, the entrepreneur, the pioneer, the initiator, the I am of the zodiac. So this full moon, this is a time you got Mercury in Scorpio. You're going deep, you're investigating, you're thinking, you're probing, but also you have this full moon in Aries in your third house of the mind. Mercury ruled. So you're going to be thinking a lot. You're going to be asking yourself, who am I? And what are my passions? And what do I want moving forward? Remember, Mars and Mercury in the background, truths coming to the surface. It's a full moon where things are revealed. So this is a double dose of that. But this full moon is all about courage. It's in Aries. So it's energetically, it's emotionally energetic. You're going to feel assertive. Especially with making commitments or ending them. And we do have a yod this day. There's another planetary configuration. You just got to throw in the fact that Uranus in Gemini is trining Pluto in your sign. Okay, it's part of the prison portal. That's a lot that's happening. This is going to be a big breakthrough for you. Okay, especially in terms of also relationships. That's a big theme for you this week. Relationships, partnerships, significant other, family, children. Again, really big theme for you this week. Creative projects, really big thing for you this week. Now, as I always say, talk to the moon. Okay, speak words to the ether. Yeah, that's energy. Yep. What are you grateful for? What do you want? What are the things that you do want to let go? Have your moment. Okay, put it all on the table as you evolve on your karmic journey. And as I did say last week, the 3-eye atlas, the not comet, whatever it is, it's going to be very close to Mars, yeah, at this time. So that's energy. Anyway, I'll leave that video. I talked about it in that last live stream. I'll leave it at the end of this video, the predictions, current energies video, if you're into it. But I do talk about it in greater detail on greatawakener.com. Not a comment. Anyway, cross watchers, if you watch for your rising or your moon, or for your husband, Glenn, or, for your sister, your intern, whoever, all the cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, will feel this full moon the most. If you know your birth chart, your natal chart, if you have any planets 12 to 16 degrees in any of those signs, like I do, you will feel it the most. And remember, it doesn't matter which sign. We look at the angular aspects. Here's the other thing. Monday and Tuesday, sure, we have a full moon. But what else is in Aries? Yeah, we have Neptune, we have Ceres, we have Eris, and we have Chiron. So the moon in Aries will conjunct every single one of those heavenly bodies the first few days. It's going to be a thing. And Eris and Chiron, by the way, Eris is Mars' sister, the goddess warrior. Chiron is the wounded healer. We're going to have a triple conjunction, okay? Because they're already pretty much together. And Jupiter square Chiron, remember, that's happening end of next week-ish, but you're still feeling it. So you're going to have Jupiter square this triple conjunction. It's a lot of healing. We'll talk about it in the second spread, but that's why I think that there's going to be some words that are said from y'all this week. It's in your third house. Now, Tuesday the 7th, Mercury in Scorpio, square Pluto in Aquarius. This is when truths come to the surface. Big ones, all right? So this is regarding money, sex, power, investments. That's that Scorpio energy. You got Pluto in your sign. You're going to feel this. And remember, Mercury's in Scorpio, so a lot of this can have to do with career or achievements, things that you want to achieve, or your reputation. Either way, Pluto is ruler of the underworld, right? Excavating, digging up those truths. Yeah? Scorpio. Yeah? Pluto being Scorpio's modern ruler adds that mental intensity when you have Mercury in Scorpio. So there's a possibility there, maybe some disclosures, exposures, manipulation, pent-up energy. Yeah, things that you've been holding in may come out. And again, everyone's going to, it doesn't matter what sign you are. This affects everybody, but in different areas of their lives. So it could be someone saying something to you. All right. It's fixed energy. Neither planet is budging. Scorpio is the scorpion, has a stinger. Remember, Mars and Mercury together in Scorpio has an intensity. The lower expressions can be resentment, obsession, jealousy, payback. Yeah. Sharp tongues. Remember, I talked about that, the grudge, holding on to that grudge energy. So we want to stay frosty, be cool, be responsive, not reactive. Yeah, this can be radioactive. Remember what I said last week. Be mindful of the words that you speak, the thoughts in your head, okay? The other thing, it's happening with the full moon in Aries, right? So Mercury is also movement. Mercury is transportation and travel. There may be something here with travel if you're traveling, if you're checking in. And, you wanted to sit with your partner. The ticket person is like, oh, there's only one seat. You can't do it. We can't do it. Well, you got some things to say. But guess what? That ticket counter person, she's in a mood too. So just be very mindful, all right? This is going to be, and a lot of family stuff here. So don't go flipping any tables. Remember, you can use any of these aspects. They have higher expressions. What's a higher expression here? Gut instincts, intuition, empowerment. You got Pluto in your sign, all right? Diplomatically, of course, we're still in Libra season, all about diplomacy. Big thing here, yes. Career may be a thing, okay? But it may be an emotional time. Scorpio is a water sign, right? So anyway, and water flows, remember that. So fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, you. I'm throwing in Virgo and Gemini too. We'll feel this the most if you have planets 0 to 3 degrees, any of those signs. You will feel it the most, okay? Like I do. Wednesday, October 8th. There you go. You got the two benefics. You got Venus, sextiling an exalted Jupiter, 23 degrees. You will feel this days before, days after. It's strong. You may be already feeling it. It's very strong. So this, remember, is part of the storyline that started August 12th. What happened for you around August 12th, where there was a seed being planted around home, family, but also work. Assignments. Maybe there's something here with health as well, but colleagues, employees, and money. Okay? because Jupiter natively rules your second. There could be something here that's really nice. And even with friendships, there could be something really nice with friendships. But remember, that's a year-long process. But this is a sextile. This is a window of opportunity. It is an opportunity. It's optimism, okay? It's blessings and good fortune and luck. It's a gift from the universe. It's seeing the greater good is what this is. It's having an experience that makes you feel wiser, especially in love. It's Venus, right? Love, relationships, money, but also home, family, and work are big things for you. Really big things. And money may be a big thing here. Remember, Venus is money, but also Jupiter is profit. Jupiter is expansion. Yeah. So keep that in mind. And the other thing, if you happen to miss this train, remember, you got to take the action. Venus and Jupiter will trine next month, right at Thanksgiving. But there's some other aspect that's happening that takes it rocket ship level. All right. We'll talk about it in the second spread. Signs most affected here are Cancer, Virgo, Libra, Sagittarius, Pisces. If you have any, or benefit the most, if you have any planets 21 to 25 degrees in Virgo or Cancer, you're really going to feel this. And remember, everyone feels it though. Everyone is also going to feel the other thing that's happening on Wednesday that's not on the whiteboard, which is the moon in Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus. It does so good. It's the same way Jupiter's exalted in Cancer, right? They do their best. They do their best. However, the moon will square Pluto in your sign. The moon will be also opposite Mercury in Scorpio. So this is a day with a little bit more emotional intensity. Taurus rules your fourth house of home and family. You already have home family stuff happening. All right. This is also the day that Chiron, the wounded healer, will conjunct Eris, the goddess warrior, exact. We're talking about perfecting. Okay. 50 years in the making. Okay. This is going to be strong. So Eris, if you remember your Greek mythology, it's Mars' sister, right? But she threw the golden apple at the wedding. To stir things up. That's Eris, okay? Because she wasn't invited. We'll talk about this. There's some healing that you may be doing, okay? Now, so just be very mindful because Pluto in your sign, really digging up those truths. You're still under the spell of Mercury square Pluto too. There's definitely going to be some truths coming to light, especially maybe with like security, financial security, home, things like that. We'll talk about the second spread. And then Saturday, the moon actually will be in Gemini over the weekend. I love that for you. That is your fifth house of fun and pleasure and true love and romance and creative projects and sex. And it's a fifth house. Now, Saturday, October 11th, you have Venus in Virgo opposite Saturn in Pisces. This is at 27 degrees. I talked about this in length last week, right? This is not a good time to start a relationship, okay? You also will likely feel tested in relationships. But for you, Aquarius, more particularly like money, you may feel a little bit of a squeeze when it comes to money. You have Saturn and Pisces in your second house of finances, income, salary, right? You have Venus and Virgo in your eighth house of wealth building, inheritance, investments, and royalties as well, loans and taxes, things like that. So there may be something here, okay? As well as like things that you value, maybe even some health, but there will likely be an authority figure here involved. It could be a financial planner, investor, things like that, but also like a boss. Remember, you have all this career energy. Also family energy. So it could be a father. It could be a father figure. Saturn is definitely going to bring some reality checks and life lessons. Saturn is your traditional ruler. You're going to feel this. But just remember the moon will be in Gemini. That's really cheerful and creative and social. So that's a lot of mutable energy that's happening around this time. And you're going to feel this days before, days after, that squeeze with relationships and especially money. And I actually want you to think about what happened for you in April. And I want you to think about the entire month. Because April 7th and April 24th, we had Venus conjunct Saturn in Pisces. It happened twice. This is an aspect that happens once a year. So it was not normal. But why? Venus was retrograde and then it went direct. And both planets conjuncted the North Node in your second house of money, finances, salary, income. But also, second house is also self-worth and self-value if you're not here for money. But there may be a little bit of deja vu from around that time. Who's going to feel this aspect the most? It'll be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. If you have any planets 25 to 29 degrees in any other signs, like I do. You'll feel it the most. I'll let you know how it goes, Aquarius. And thank you, everyone who has joined Great Awakener. It's been so much fun. All the information is in the description box. And the last thing I'm going to say, because I'm not sure how clear I was, but because I keep getting a lot of comments. But thank you again for all your kindness and all your wonderful comments. I have been dealing with two medical issues the past few months, as well as Ruby as well, my dog. So it set me back, and I know that some of these videos have been coming out a little bit later than typical Wednesdays, and that's why. And so thank you again for all your kindness and all your patience. I'm looking at the clock now. I'm trying to get it is Friday as I do this. Literally, I'm trying to get this up by noon. Anyway, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much, Aquarius. Let's see what's going on for you. October 6th to the 12th. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aquarius. Team Aquarius, what's going on? How are y'all doing? What are you doing this weekend? Tell me everything. Do you see? That's my there's that Mars and Scorpio, Mercury and Scorpio energy. I gotta know. Anyway, I do I do a traditional occult cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading if we need to pull clarifiers. You know that we will. Okay. I got you. If you're new to my channel, I am an Aquarius. Of course I got you. I gotta know. Anyway, okay, so let's get started. There you go. You're good. You got a lot of decisions to make this week, though. Wow. There's some lack of clarity that we need to focus on. Remember, you got to focus on your passions. You got the Seven of Pentacles. So take that time this week as you move into this week. Again, what's not working and what is. Everything that remember, this is a big week of investments, and that doesn't have to be just financial. In fact, the Pentacles, it's a 5-pointed star. It's spirit of consciousness. It represents your physical world, right? Your material world. So it can be a relationship. It can be a job. It can be, any of that, anything that you've invested your time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, heart, and soul into. Do you still want it? It's a question to ask yourself as you move into this week. Remember, you do have Venus conjunct the South Node over the weekend. We do. And our 8th house that's requiring us to have the death part for our rebirth. Okay? So think about that. And I'm not saying you have to give it all up. It's just saying take that time to pause. You're going to have a full moon in Aries anyway. So there's got to be some illumination. Yeah. There's just take that time. Things that you've been working on, do you feel that it's worth continuing forward? If it is, great. Now, how do you set it up for the long term? How do you set it up where you still find joy and passion in it, right? And then when you do, wow. So you're good. You have the Two of Cups in the heart of your spread. There's something happening here. There's something happening that's really special. I talked about the passion. You see the winged lion and the card that's it's the soulmate card. It's the twin flame, the true love card. Yeah. In layman's terms. And remember, you already have Uranus and Gemini that's trining Pluto in your sign. That's in your 5th house of true love and romance. And so there's some breakthrough energy there. There's someone that you could meet around this time, which is really nice. You have everything set up here that's really special. Even the Venus being in Virgo all week and sextiling Jupiter in your 8th house. Partnership building, right? Your investments, intimacy, all of that. But this is really great. This is taking something to the next level, but opening yourself up for it, right? With another person. And again, it doesn't have to be love. It can be career. You got so much career stuff, okay? It can be platonic, wherever you want, wherever you're putting that energy. You have the 4 of Cups in your challenge area. It feels like there's something you're coming out of that's really nice. Actually, there may be something here where it's already in motion too. But this is possibly the week that you actually feel that 2 of Cups. You could have already, with that new moon solar eclipse in Virgo that we had. Yeah, that's a 6-month process. And that was in your 8th house. Okay, so amazing. 4 of Cups in your challenge area. There may be something here where it's like, I really got to know what I do want. I feel like Maybe, there is a sense of you that you're like, I'm kind of bored with this, or like, is this something I'm passionate about? Is this emotionally fulfilling me? The good news is there is an energy of like, you're coming out of that. If you felt that, there could be something, but you got to make that decision. There's something where you're coming out of where now it's like, yeah, feel great. The other thing is there's definitely someone here involved that's part of your journey who may be a little like as well. Okay, so there may be an ending here. There may be something that's, or an adjustment. Okay, but we want to, if it's not working, it's not working. Okay, and you're going to have more moments of that. And remember, next week is when Venus actually moves into Libra, and you have that grand air trine, and Pluto in your sign goes direct, and it's a lot happening next week. Lift off, right? 7 of Cups in your crown. That's just saying, yeah, there's a lot of different paths, but you got to be true to yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. What do you want moving forward? This card is attributed to Venus and Scorpio. It's a Scorpio card. So again, a lot of this has to do with work and career and just profession, or maybe even just your what you want, your passions moving forward. But you got to know. Queen of Swords in the Rudier spread. That's amazing. So Queen of Swords, there's a sense of partnerships all down your cross, because the Queen of Swords is Libra. Yeah, the rules partnerships, relationships as well, even contracts here. But there is this truth. This is all about truth. It's deep down inside you. Justice, truth, fairness, right? You see the sword pointed straight to the sky. Okay, that's true perception. This is someone who's left her emotions at the door, just so her emotions don't cloud her judgment. So this is, even like there's this energy of just like what's happening this week is like everything that you do has to be true to you. Aquarius, you're the unique ones, right? You're the authentic ones. Uranus is your ruler. That's all Uranus wants, is you being your authentic self, but you've got to know who you are to be that authentic self. So this is just cutting through any fog, yeah? That's even up here. And so it's deep within you. Let it out, connect with it. And then you've got the Two of Pentacles in your future. There's got to be some options, opportunities. There's also something you're moving into where it's you're giving it. Let's bring balance to it. Okay, whatever new is brewing here, let's bring balance to it. You got these two twos, right? Duality, and I don't mind the Two of Pentacles. It's also showing there may be two different opportunities as well. You just have to prioritize what's come into your life as well, or something new that's coming through. Whatever it is, you see it's pentacles, right? So money, could be career, could be job. We have careers to make money. But again, your physical realm, your physical world. Let's get to your stuff. Aquarius, y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Team Aquarius, we're in this together. We're in this together. You're going to, listen, Pluto's in your sign. Pluto's very active this week, and Pluto's going to be even more active next week. So this is a good time to just feel empowered. All right. This is a week where there's going to be some changes. There's got to be some changes. It seems like y'all are moving into something new out of something old. Yeah. But don't hold on to that old energy. Okay. You got the Magician. Absolutely amazing. The Magician. Just there you are, right? As above, so below. Hand to the sky, hand to the ground. You already, listen, when you know what you want up here, bring it into your reality. It's energy. Yeah, this is you beginning your new journey. Again, it just feels like there's something new happening here. Yeah, the Magician. Here's the thing. It's the Magician. There's magic in this card. This is saying you can have anything you want. You can manifest anything you want. You're to start your brand new journey. It's card 1 in the Major Arcana, the Fool's Journey. But you have to believe. It's all about self-belief. You've got Saturn in your second house of self-worth, self-value. There's this confidence that's going to have to come out. Yeah. Three of Swords. Okay. External factors area. There's going to be some emotional impact this week, okay? Maybe a partnership, relationship, whatever it is, just remember, this is a card where it's like, sure, it's the heartbreak card or, the heartache card. it's still a sword suit. It's up here. Okay. So again, a lot of this is you reassessing things, even with Pluto retrograde still, right, in your side. But it's also you harnessing that Queen of Swords, all about that fairness. And this is just saying, whatever you go through this week, that emotional impact that you have, it makes you stronger in the end. You have that Two of Wands, okay? And so there is a sense of like, let's really know what we want to move forward. You really, really have to know. This is a great card. It's actually, attributed to Mars and Aries. Mars, rules Aries too. You see him standing at the top of the hill. He's got, the world in his hand. And so this is really great. But you got to get there. Yeah. So that and that. It does seem like there's got to be some decisions we're going to have to make, but it's really connecting within. Five of Pentacles in your final outcome. There's going to be something that happens this week where you may feel a little bit of like lost of, there's something, again, with that Four of Cups here in your challenge area. There could be a breakup. There could be, job, like maybe, you quit and then, or, company cuts things or however it's called. Also, if you're an Aquarius sun, by the way, and I've said this before, sometimes things that are with the aspects, and here it's not about you, it's about the people in your life, right? So it could even be like there's, you feel like something or someone is holding you back with that Five of Pentacles. Okay, so remember, you are the sign of humanity. You are the sign of the masses. Yeah. And there is a sanctuary right here, that church, and everyone's in there. They're having a ball, they're having a blast, they're drinking, chocolate milk, whatever it is. All you got to do is look up. All you got to do is go inside. You got all that support within there. All right. So again, there just feels like there is something here where there is a little bit of like setback, but it doesn't have to be. All right. I'm going to do some clarifiers for you. Like, how much time we got? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see. I would see that Two of Pentacles first. The Nine of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be something here where it does feel like there's, what it feels actually more like is like there is, it's that stabilization. Okay. And so keep that in mind. Even with Venus opposite Saturn, Saturn is all about structure and stability, right? So stabilization of your future moving forward. There could be just a lot going on, but you overthinking things, over analyzing things. That's Venus in Virgo in your 8th this week. Okay. Remember, Venus does move into Libra next week. And you got the Devil, but you got the Devil reverse. How crazy is that? Very interesting. All right. You just got to let things go. That's all it is. Remember, what did I say? Shadow work. That's all you got to do. Shadow work. What are the things that you have to let go, but maybe you're not facing those things? You see the two people from the Lovers card here, right? Chained to the Devil. So there is something here that we've got to really think about: investments, partnerships, intimacy, all of that. This card is vices, addictions, pessimistic thinking, codependency. This is the Devil. It's like energy, vampire energy. Yep. So consider that. That's what's happening here. I think that there is something that you are gonna, it's like two different directions and you didn't see it coming. And it's like, well, what do I do? Right? You go within. You break free from those chains. Okay? And so it's really, really acknowledging it. And with the intensity of Scorpio season, a lot of this, remember, this can also be like a toxic boss or toxic work environment or something like that, right? There, a lot of career stuff. Let's see. Three of Swords. Four of Swords. Great. Do that healing. I know that's like, but it's true. Like the Four of Swords is all about like rest and retreat. It's taking that time out to kind of like process everything that happened with that Three of Swords, and then just, having your moment, aligning your chakras, working with your chakras, all of that, and you're going to be fine. It's more about the mental state, right? Clearing the mental state. And the other moon here. It does feel like this is going to be a week where there's something really strong happening in, the core of it, right? With that Two of Cups. And it can be with that Two of Cups. It's like, okay, this is interesting. I've never really experienced this before. It's like, how do I stabilize this? And There's a lot of things coming up that you're like, whoa, I didn't see this coming. And it's feels that there's something here that you do want to break away from, but it might be hard. And then here you have the moon, okay? During the week of the full moon in Aries. So one of the biggest things here is communicating. Yeah, you have to be open to communicating, even with that Queen of Swords in the reduced spread. And just trusting your intuition. I'm going to see that Seven of Cups. Yeah, the King of Cups. That's great. So you see that there's a lot of shadow work that needs to be done for you to have that emotional stability too. Okay, that sense of like self-love and just being content emotionally, where even it's he's got so much compassion and empathy and kindness, but so much love. He leads with his heart. And so this is all about decisions. This is all about even commitments. Like I said, what are you going to be committing to? Maybe you don't know yet. Okay, that's why you got to trust your intuition, but you have to do that. Remember, you can't have that rebirth part until you have that death part. So this is for me too. All right. So the moon and your final outcome, just trust your intuition and don't hold things in. This is not the week to do it. Again, use these mercurial energies diplomatically. All right. Thanks so much. I want to see the moon. I want to see the moon. All right, let's do one more clarifier. There you go. There you go. You got the world. All right. So this is facing your fears, and a lot of it will have to do with really being proactive to do that. Okay? And then you make it. You have the world, where it's the merging of it all. It's like the end of your journey. It's you've got the magician, but you've also got the world, the end of the full journey. So this is like a journey within itself. Again, a lot of decision making here for you. A lot of like, I don't know what I want. Mercury and Mars and Scorpio digging deep. And a lot of this is profession, career, self-worth, self-value, money. You have two Saturn cards. The Devil attributed to Capricorn is, Saturn is a ruler here. The World attributed to Saturn, and Saturn is our traditional ruler. Saturn currently in Pisces, your second house. Self-worth, self-value, confidence, things that you value. Do you know what they are, right? You got to know what they are, your passions. And then second house is also money, finances, financial security, all of that. But this, when you get through that, there's a reward, okay? The World, amazing. And then you're going to be able to manifest that new thing that you want and bring that in. So, yeah, this is going to be a week. It really comes down to like, what do you want to commit to? What are the things holding you back? Recognize what's holding you back. And you've got to leave it in the past. Anyway, second spread, we're going to go a little deeper because there's a lot of things happening in the lunations, everything that I brought up earlier, even with Chiron. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal. Chiron and Eris, their perfection, the wounded healer doing a lot of healing this week. Yeah. Even Juno's in the mix. That's going to sextile Pluto on your side. We'll talk about the second spread. Tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. Really good and legendary members. Thanks so much. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Aquarius, tell me what's going on. I already know. That's the thing. I already know what it is for me. So it's, again, you gotta know. And then next week we'll talk. There's a lot happening next week. We'll talk. Trust me, we'll talk. All right. Thanks so much, Aquarius. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.